In this video, we will discuss about instance preferences, third-party integration, and server license configuration. We will discuss about instance preferences settings. From instance preferences, you can add different settings like job scheduler, scenario exception control, email, LDAP abbreviated as lightweight directory access protocol, etc. Click the Admin Console module. Hover and click on the System Preferences snippet. From the Preferences session page, click the Instance Preferences option to navigate to Instance Preferences session page. You will see 4 different tabs, such as Global Settings, Email Settings, LDAP Settings, and FTP Settings. In Global Settings, the scheduler is enabled. If the scheduler is enabled, all jobs will be executed as per the scheduled date and time. Click the Batch Console module, and here you will notice the scheduler icon enabled. Navigate back to the Global Settings tab. Disable the scheduler and click the Save button to update the global settings. Disabling the scheduler option will not execute the later scheduled jobs. Click the Batch Console module again, and here you see the scheduler icon is completely removed from the Job Explorer session page. Navigate back to Instance Preferences. The Exception Control option is enabled here. You can optimize the different reconciliations, exception statuses at the scenario level if the exception control is enabled, and we will discuss in detail while explaining the reconciliations. Click the Scenario Studio module and search for any scenario from the Search text field. As an example, click on an FDR scenario to navigate to its Scenario Designer page. Click the horizontal ellipses, and you can view the Exceptions Control Off option is enabled. Navigate back to the Global Settings tab again and disable the Exception Control option. Disabling the Exception Control option will disable the exception control settings. Click the Save button to save the Instance Preferences settings. Click the Scenario Studio again and select the same scenario. Click on the scenario to navigate to its Designer page. Click the horizontal ellipses and you can view the Exceptions Control option is completely disabled. Navigate back to the Global Settings tab. The encryption key has an algorithm that performs a unique role in securely encrypting and decrypting all the application contents. Here, you can add your own encryption key as per the requirement. Click the Email Settings tab. By default, Write Data SMTP settings are selected. You can either use Write Data SMTP or create a new custom SMTP as per the requirement. Select the Custom SMTP Settings option if you wish to use your own email address. You have the following options to create a custom SMTP as shown here. Click the LDAP Settings tab. LDAP helps us to log in to the application without providing the credentials every time the user logs in to the application. Here, you have 2 types of LDAP settings. One is Active Directory Authentication, and the other is Single Sign on Enable option. You can set up AD authentication and SSO enable as per the options displayed here. We will discuss third-party integration, which helps users to establish connections with external applications such as Jira, Azure DevOps, etc. Click the Admin Console module. Hover and click on System Preferences, snippet option to navigate to the Preferences page. Click the Third-Party Integration tile to open it. You see different third-party integrations, as shown here. By default, Jira option is selected. Click the Add button to add a new Jira instance. You need to add the required text field options as shown here. Click the Test connection to authenticate the Jira connection. Once the authentication is successful, click the Save option to save the Jira instance. We will show how you can use this Jira instance in a scenario. Click the Scenario Studio module, which navigates to the Scenario Explorer page. Click on any scenario that navigates to its Designer page. From the Additional Settings tab, drag and drop the Jira widget and double-tap it to open. Add the recently created Jira instance name, which is Jira, and add the remaining details as shown here and click the Save option to save the widget. Click the Execute Now icon to execute the scenario. The JIRA creates a bug for the exceptions that are generated in the scenario execution. Click the JIRA green tick mark that navigates to the JIRA dashboard. Add the username and password and click the Login button to log in to the JIRA dashboard. You can view the created JIRA bug and the scenario URL, which is linked to it. Click on the URL, which navigates to the specific scenario execution summary page within the application. Navigate back to the third-party integration page. Click the Azure DevOps Board option. Click the Add button to create an Azure DevOps Board instance. You need to add the following options as shown here to create an Azure DevOps Board instance. Later, click the Test Connection button, and once the test connection is successful, you can then save the instance. While creating any third-party instance, you have two options. One is Edit, and the other is Delete. Click the Edit option to edit and update the instance details. Click the Delete option to delete the selected instance type. Click the Qtest option to add any instance related to Qtest. You have also an option to edit any created Qtest instance. The next is HPQC ALM, which is a tool developed by HP abbreviated as Quality Center Application Lifecycle Management. Click the Add button to add a new instance. To create a new HPQC ALM instance, you need to add the following details as shown here. Once the authentication is successful, save the instance. Click the Close button. You can create an MS Teams instance and integrate it with our application to view the linked execution notifications on MS Teams channel dashboard. The last one is Slack. You can create a Slack instance and integrate it with our application to view the linked execution notifications on Slack. We will discuss about server license configuration, which helps in extending the application usage validity. Click the Admin Console module. Hover and click the System Preferences snippet option. It will navigate to the Preferences session page. Click the Server License Information tile that will navigate to the Server License Information page. You can activate DataTrust server license in two ways: online activation and offline activation. We will discuss how to activate server license online. Click the Click Here option that enables Extend Server License pop-up window. By default, offline activation is set to No. Enter the server license key provided by the DataTrust support team. Click the Submit option to authenticate the server license. We will discuss how to activate server license offline. Click the Click Here option that